What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. It's been about a month since we talked about this car. In fact, it's been about a month since I've even touched this car. It hasn't been driven, it hasn't been started, I haven't messed with it because we were having some major issues with the financing for the lease. Apparently it was gonna go through and then it wasn't gonna go through, and everything got really confusing. My Ram Rebel apparently had gotten sold, but yet it wasn't paid off yet. So in this video, we're finally going to address what happened with my Ram Rebel and this new 2024 electric Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack. So we got a lot of new subscribers on the channel from this car and all of the issues that I have had with it. It has been an absolute nightmare, which is really quite the shame because I love this car. I've said it over and over again, even with all the problems, the bricking itself, the charging issues, the lack of working charging infrastructure. This car is such a blast to drive. It is a big, comfortable car. I still disagree with Stellantis. This is a muscle car. This is not a muscle car. It's not. It's quick. It's pretty fast. As far as electric cars go, though, it's not particularly impressive. 0 to 60 in 3.3, which, you know, that's not bad at all, guys. Does the quarter mile in something like 11 seconds. Still not bad. 670 horsepower, all-wheel drive. And it's a tank. It's an absolute boat. The styling is out of this world. I love the way it looks. I love the hatchback. Probably one of the things I love most about the car is the fact that it's a hatchback. And the fact that they finally brought back the Dodge Charger. All right, everybody sees this car, they think it's a Challenger. It's not a Challenger. This is what the Charger used to be. Back in the day, a Charger was a two-door, not a four-door. But then they screwed that up because they decided they're going to start making a Charger with four doors. But then they decided they're also going to start making a Charger with a Hurricane engine. And then they're going to make the Charger with the electric motors too. And then they're going to make the Charger with like the Hurricane engine, the big one, the high output. It's so convoluted. But two doors, four doors, multiple gas engines, and then there were multiple electric versions of this. Now we're down to one. They got rid of the original RT, and now the only one of these that's still around is the Stage 2 Scat Pack. All right, this is the only one you can get. There's a lot of confusion going around. People think that Dodge, Stellantis, has discontinued the electric version of this car. That the Dodge Charger is no longer available in electric. It's not true. That is not true. Definitely go out there, get your facts straight, all right? They still make this car. Granted, nobody's buying them, but they still make the Scat Pack electric Charger. They discontinued the RT only. So, what happened to my truck? Well, apparently it was sold, and it took a while for it to get paid off, and that is because Stellantis, for whatever reason, was giving me a lot of drama about the financing for this lease. So most of you know by now that I was $40,000 upside down on my Ram Rebel, which is incredible, and a lot of people don't understand how it got to that point, and I understand how it got there. I was aware the whole time of what I was doing, and I knew at some point I was going to have to pay the piper, as my dad would say. Rolling negative equity over and over and over. And the crazy thing is with that $40,000 upside down, I had always put a considerable amount of money down, almost always put a considerable amount of money down towards the next vehicle to help offset that negative equity. So yes, 40 grand upside down is absolutely crazy. It's stupid. I was paying $2,000 a month for the Rebel, and the Rebel is gone. It's finally paid off. I'm happy to say that. It's finally paid off. Stellantis called me, and I got into an argument, a pretty heated argument with the person that was asking me a bunch of questions about leasing this car a month after I'd already leased it. They're telling me that the financing has not gone through. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out why. My credit is great. I have great credit. There's no reason that we shouldn't have gotten this resolved earlier. A lot of people said it was because of the negative equity. Absolutely not. Rolling over a ton of negative equity into a lease, a short-term lease, or even a long-term lease, to pay it off is pretty normal. It happens a lot more than you guys probably think it does. So it had nothing to do with the numbers. They were just really behind. In fact, they're just really bad at their job is what it is. This is Stellantis, not the dealership. Stellantis themselves. I got so angry, I told the lady, I had some choice words for her. We'll just leave it at that, all right? I had some words for the lady. And at that point, I said, I don't even care anymore. Take the car back. Give me the car. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm done. I was so frustrated with this whole situation. I wanted out of it. Whether it was taking the car back or putting me in something else, whatever. I talked to David Stanley, and they told me that regardless of what happens, we'll get it figured out. Like I'm not going to be left without a car. I'm not going to be left in a bad situation. So I had nothing to lose. So I told Stellantis, I gave him the middle finger, except in words. And I told him I don't care anymore. So after that conversation, and after I made the last video for you guys, I parked the car. I didn't want to put any more miles on it because I didn't want there to be a possibility of being penalized for putting miles on the car. If you get a spot delivery, which this was not supposed to be a spot delivery, but if you get a spot delivery and you go over the certain mileage limit, you could be paying a fortune in mileage costs. So this car has currently 2,961 miles on it. I put all of these miles on it in the first month. And this is a car that I've got 15,000 miles a year on. I drove it to Indiana and back. I did a lot of video content for you guys. I drove it everywhere. So I just stopped driving the car. I parked it. I started driving all of my other cars, mainly the Cadillac Escalade. And then I went on the road trip to Indiana, Michigan, Ohio. We were all over the place in the 57 Chevy doing the Hot Rod Power Tour. And I just let all of this go, and I went and handled my business. And when I came back, I was surprised to find a letter in the mail from Stellantis, and the letter said that my account was finally approved, everything was set up, and I went online, set up my monthly payments to be automatically recurring. The good thing about this is, and for me, remember, this works for me. It doesn't mean it works for you, but it works for me. My payments went from $2,000 a month to $1,744 a month. Still a lot of money, I understand that. And then you got things like insurance and stuff. But at $1,744 a month, in 3 years, I am done with this car. Now, I understand what you're going to say. Believe me, before you even say it, I already know. You're going to say, Randy, that's over $60,000 that you're going to pay to borrow this car. And when you're done, you're going to be left with absolutely nothing. And you're right. Here is the screen from my Stellantis account right here, $1,744.31. And the starting date is 4/23 of 25. The maturity date is 4/23 of 2028. I'm on payment 2 of 36 with $59,306.54 remaining. So there it is. And the best part is, again, I know you guys aren't going to agree with me. A lot of you want something to show for your money, and that's just not where I'm at today, okay? They took care of the tags for me too. They got my plates done. I didn't have to do that. It all came in the mail. I thought that was pretty cool. So for the next 3 years, this is my car. What am I going to do with it? Well, I got some ideas. In fact, I just ordered a sticker package that came from the Ukraine. It was not cheap, and it took a long time to get here. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about doing something a little unique with this car. That'd be a lot of fun. So yes, I am going to basically throw out $60,000. Now, it's important to remember something when you're talking about these kinds of numbers, and that is you don't get to drive a car for nothing. Unless you just go pay cash, you know, you buy a $5,000 car or something, you drive it for nothing. But then there's all the maintenance and things that break regularly, need to be replaced regularly. When you're talking about an electric car, the only thing that you should have to replace regularly are tires. Everything else, it's pretty much maintenance free, guys. You shouldn't need to replace brakes. You don't need to get your oil changed or your coolant flushed. Brake flushes, you do need to do brake flushes. Air filters, car doesn't have an air filter. It has a cabin air filter, but that's it. Most of the stuff that you have to take care of, transmission services, power steering fluid flushes and services, a lot of the things people don't even take care of to begin with, this car doesn't have spark plugs, valve cover gasket. You know, over the long term, the lifespan of the car, you'll never have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. Now, since I'm only owning it for 3 years and I get 15,000 miles a year, that gives me 36,000 miles to drive this car. Obviously, anything that breaks should be under warranty. And the same thing would apply to any other brand new car. So to keep it apples to apples, and to be fair, the only things we're really going to have to focus on for this car would be tires and an alignment. There should be nothing else that we have to do to this car. Whereas if you had a brand new gasoline Dodge Charger, let's say it's the same car, but it's a gasoline, you would have, in those 3 years, you'd probably have to deal with brakes once, maybe, depending on how you drive. You would have to deal with tires, 36,000 miles, you're probably going to have to put tires on as well. Oil changes, regular oil changes every 5,000 miles or so. That's a lot of oil changes, guys. And all the other little things that gasoline cars have, including checking your belts, and there's a lot that goes into making a gasoline car work. Electric cars are great because they have so few moving parts. With that said, when big things go bad, like one of the drive motors or the battery pack, those things get expensive really, really quick. But on an electric car, you get something else that you don't get on a gasoline car, and that is a long, long warranty on the powertrain components. Battery and motors are warranted, if I'm not mistaken, 8 years, 100,000 miles. Guys, that's better than almost any new car warranty on any car on the market in the United States today. So I'm happy with the car. I know I'm losing $60,000, but that is from years and years of rolling. I have had a lot of fun with a lot of cars, and now it is time for me to pay up. That's what it comes down to. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the monthly payments, and I'm honestly happy knowing that I get to drive this car for a few years and give it back. If it turns out to be a complete pile, I don't want to keep this car. I don't want to eat the depreciation on this car. I want to be able to just give it back and walk away. So this is a good experiment for me. I get to try out this very comfortable, nice cruiser and fairly fast and relatively quick car for a few years. And I don't have to worry about depreciation. I don't have to care if the car is a total POS because it's not mine. I'm done with it. At the end of the day, if you're going to drive a new car, you're going to pay for it. Whether you buy it or lease it, you're paying for it one way or another. You can't drive a new car for free. And with that said, if you bought a new car and you drove it for 3 years and you put 36,000 miles on it, you're going to eat depreciation, period. Even if you just drove it off the lot, brought it back, and tried to sell it back to the dealership in a month or two, you will always eat the depreciation, guys. You just pay for it, usually up front. If you're smart, you pay cash and you pay for it up front, and you don't roll over that depreciation into the next car and the next car and the next car. It's not a good idea. It's not a good move, but I knew what I was doing, and I knew at some point it was going to come down to this. I just didn't know we were going to be doing it in a lease. So this way I get to pay it out over the next 3 years, and at the end, for me, my personal decision is to just walk away in 3 years and be happy. I'll be $40,000 less in debt when this whole thing is over. And when you think about it, the Ram Rebel that I got rid of, that thing was just a constant POS, and I owned it. I got almost every dollar out of that truck that I paid for. David Stanley really hooked me up on that one, guys. They didn't have to do that, but they gave me almost every single dollar that I paid for that truck back when they bought it. And then they sold it for less. They lost, I think they said like $10,000 or something they lost on that truck, helping me get out of the situation. So the depreciation hit would have happened to me regardless. And with that Ram truck, that was $100,000 because of the 40 grand in negative equity and the $60,000 truck. That was $100,000 that I was going to be faced with figuring out. Now it's 60. It doesn't sound much better, but it's $60,000, and here in a few years I walk away scot-free. It's a clean slate, guys, and for me personally, I'm happy with that decision. Now I've got the car in eco mode. We're going to take her for just a little spin. Actually, I'm taking it out for the day. I just got back from Hot Rod Power Tour, so I've been exhausted, guys. I'm on my way to go film some insurance auto auction videos for you guys. I'm on my way to IAA right now, and I thought, now that this car is mine and I can actually start putting some miles on it, I want to take it for a drive. What I found interesting about this car versus other electric cars, such as Tesla, I'm going to mainly be talking about Tesla here, is I left this car unplugged, sitting in my driveway for a week. I mean, it's been over a week, actually. It's a week and a half, at least a week and a half. I left this car sitting in the driveway, and I want you guys to take a look at the battery percentage. It's at 89%. Now, let me tell you why that's important. When I parked the car, it was at 90%. And when I started the car today, this blew me away. When I started the car today, it was at 90%. I had the same range and the same battery percentage that I had when I parked this car at least a week and a half ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. It didn't lose any voltage. That is unheard of, because anybody that's ever owned a Tesla, you know exactly what happens when you park your car. If you leave a Tesla sitting outside for a week or two, guys, you're going to lose major percentages in your battery's capacity from sitting, because a Tesla is always sitting there doing something, whether it's Sentry mode or cabin overheat protection, whatever the case is, a Tesla is always on. It's always doing something. Therefore, if you leave it sitting long enough, you will come back to find that you have no battery remaining. I thought it'd be fun just to park this car and come back and see where the battery was. And I was shocked to see this car must actually go to sleep, like real sleep. It's not sitting there worrying about Sentry mode or cabin overheat protection. If you turn the car off and you walk away from it, you don't come back, the car powers down. Like, it actually shuts itself off. And you could come back like me 2 weeks later and find that you have exactly the same range and exactly the same percentage of battery that you had when you left it. Now, I don't know about you, but that's nice, because that is more like what a gasoline car does. All right, a gasoline car doesn't lose fuel when you park it for 2 weeks. If you take a car and you fill it up with gas and you go on a vacation and you come back 2 weeks later, guess what? Your car will still have the same gas in it that it had when you left. And I think this is exactly how battery-operated cars should work. If you park it, it should turn itself off, completely shut down, and save that battery so that it's right where you left it. Now, unfortunately, the experience with this car has been really bad from the very beginning. Just from the get-go, this car has been trouble. We've had so many problems. We've almost been left stranded once on a road trip, and then we got left stranded in my driveway, where I had to call a tow truck to come get it because it was bricked. Thankfully, Stellantis has rolled out software updates, and as of the making of this video, which today is like the 17th, I think, of May, 2025, this car is up to date on all the latest firmware software updates. Everything is updated, and I've had no further issues out of this car. None. It has been great. No more braking issues, no more low voltage battery failures or anything, nothing. The car has been great. The problem is, I haven't really driven it because I didn't even know if this was going to be my car or not. I've driven it maybe a few hundred miles since all of those updates were done weeks ago. So now it's time to actually do a little bit of driving, put some miles on it, and verify that everything is fine. And I don't know, maybe, if I feel confident and comfortable, if you guys are interested, maybe it's time to take this thing on another road trip. Maybe it's time to try out the charging infrastructure again, now that everything is updated. Maybe some of those chargers that didn't work before will work now, or maybe they won't. I don't know, but it could be a fun video, and I definitely want to start enjoying this car now that I know it's mine for the next few years. I know the car gets a lot of flack. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people actually hate the car, but there's a lot of people that really do love the car. They don't own one, but they still love it. And I know this because when I drive this car, people never hesitate to come up and say, what is it? Most people still don't know this car even exists, which tells you what a failure the car really was, I guess. It was a flop. I'll be the first to admit. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. The car was a flop, and I think it had to do a lot with marketing. And then the rest of it was the fact that the cars had so many software issues right out of the gate. So many people bought the car, and then they ended up with catastrophic issues immediately. People being stuck on the side of the road, people being left in the middle of intersections. It's not okay. It's not okay. This car was not ready to be released to the public. They had a lot of R&D left to do before they sent this car to the public and put it in the hands of people that are going to be using it every single day. A lot of people buy a car like this. This is their daily. This is what they rely on to get to work, to get their kids to school, to get the kids to daycare, to go grocery shopping. You don't send a car that's half-baked out into the public and hope for the best, all right? I will call a spade here, man. Stellantis failed miserably on that. Whoa! Are you serious? You're just going to roll right out. They have a stop sign pulled out right in front of me. You know what? That's fine. It's insured. I should have hit him. That's why I should have hit him. Hey, it's not my car. And that leads me into the beautiful part about a lease, which is it's not my car. So if it gets a scratch or it gets a little ding or something, I don't have to sit here and cry about it. Oh, my new car. Doesn't matter. They expect normal wear and tear, by the way. Leases have normal wear and tear included. So if you get a ding or a scratch, you're not going to be hit for it. Now, if you smash a fender or something, that's different. You got to fix that kind of stuff. But normal wear and tear, scrapes and scuffs on the interior and things in the paint, these are normal wear things. And maybe scrapes on the rims, you can live with those too. It's not your car. And in 3 years, who knows what they're going to have out by then. I can always take this car in, return it, and I'll get something else. It's fun. It makes the ownership experience a little more enjoyable because it's not my car that I'm going to be stuck with for the next 5 to 7 years. I don't ever want to be stuck making payments on a car again for 7 years. That's absolutely ridiculous, guys. 72 months, 80-month loans. Absolutely insane. I think for me, from now on, the cars that I really just want to have fun with and own, I'll buy cash. And the cars that I want to be, reliable, daily driver quality cars, I'll just lease. I'm happy with that. Anyway, as I was saying, a lot of people don't know this car exists. So when they see one in the public, people want to come up and talk about it. And so far, the majority of people, the vast majority of people that have come up to talk to me about this car have been really just kind of in awe of the way it looks inside and out. People genuinely love seeing this car. They think it is cool, and they're like, wait a minute, this is electric? And then you tell them it's 670 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.3, and it does a quarter mile in 11 seconds, and they're like, what? It's impressive. Maybe not so much compared to cars like the Tesla Model 3 Performance, the new one that is, or the Tesla Model S Plaid. But aside from those, and of course Lucid, this car really does hold its own out here. And it looks like nothing else on the road. And that is why I love this car more than anything else that's out here in the EV market today. It is just different. It's unique. It's fun. The styling cues from the 60 are on point, man. The fact it still has a shifter. And not just a shifter. It's got a pistol grip shifter. Are you kidding me? Man, whoever designed this car, inside and out, they worked really hard on it. I give major props to the designers, to the engineers that put all of this together and made it work. Somebody spent a lot of time making this a really fun and cool car that had an iconic look that took you back to Mopars of the 60s. I think they did a great job. And yes, the Fretsonic exhaust, I can't call it an exhaust. I'm sorry. The Fretsonic speakers that mimic sort of an exhaust, that's hit or miss with people. Some people love it. Some people think, man, that sounds awesome. I personally like it. That's just me. And then there are other people out there that they hear it and they immediately start laughing. And believe me, I understand both sides. You're not going to hear me calling you ugly names because you think the exhaust is stupid and it should be turned off. In fact, right now, I've got the exhaust in quiet mode. The exhaust. It's not an exhaust. It's just speakers. It's speakers. Listen, I think we could have some fun with the Fretsonic speakers if maybe at some point Stellantis decides, after they get all the big updates done and the cars are reliable, which I think we're to that point now, I think you could have some fun. Imagine the sound of like a Ferrari engine, a V12, or a Lamborghini, right? Or maybe a V10 from a BMW M5. You know what I mean? You could get some crazy sounds. A flat plane crank Corvette engine. Or maybe a GT500. I mean, there's so many opportunities here with that speaker system. You should be able to download any exhaust sound that you want and plug it right into the car, and you can make the car sound like whatever you want to. I think that would be great. In fact, there might even be a subscription opportunity there, Stellantis. I'm just saying, you know, you put a bunch of different exhaust sounds on an app store, throw it into the Ram app, and you charge $1.99. All right, $2, and people can download all the different exhaust sounds they want, put them straight into the car, over the air, if you want to, and boom, you're done. Imagine the amount of money that could be made from something like that, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm downloading 5 or 6 different exhaust sounds. I'm going to have a hell of fun with this car. Anyway, just an idea. You don't even have to pay me for it. That one's a freebie. But if you want more, you're going to have to put me on the payroll. So I want to give a big shout out and thank you to David Stanley, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram in Midwest City, across the street from Tinker Air Force Base, for really taking care of me. This was not an easy one to do. For whatever reason, they had a lot of problems. I had a lot of problems. This was a disaster, but they stood by me and they took care of it. And even when things were looking like we might lose the car, and that was mainly because I just got tired of dealing with it. I told the lady to go F herself. Some of you thought I was some of you thought I was kind of mean for that because she's just doing her job, but you were not on the phone, and I did not record the conversation. When you're recording phone calls, it's important to make sure that whoever you're recording is in a state that's a single-party consent state, because if it's a two-party consent state and you record that conversation, that could be considered wiretapping and it's a felony. Okay? A lot of people don't know that. You don't just randomly record conversations if you don't know where the phone call is originating from and know for a fact it's a single-party consent state. You can get yourself literally locked up in prison over wiretapping law violations. Okay? So that's why I didn't record it, and I wasn't expecting the phone call when it came in. Monkey Wrench Mike was there, Santa's Workshop was there. They heard the conversation, and the lady was very, very rude. I mean, just over the top rude. I had some very simple questions, and she got very aggravated and rude with me. So eventually, I just got fed up, and I told her to go F herself. I was like, you seem to think this is like a life or death decision for me. I don't care about this car. I like the car. I enjoy the car. It is a nice car, but I don't care about it. I don't love this car. You want it back? Come get it. Come take the car. I don't care. I've got like 18 cars right now. I don't need this car. I don't care about this car. And if you're going to make it difficult for me, you can have it right back. I'll go buy something else. It's not that big a deal. In the big scheme of things in life, buying a car is just not that important. And I'm so tired of being stressed out over this stupid car. I was done. And I thought for sure after that conversation, that they were going to come get it back. And when I told Tony over at David Stanley that I cussed her out, he was like, "Oh, no, Randy." He said, "Man, you shouldn't have done that." And I was like, I know, man. I'm just fed up. The Rebel was a total POS. That Rebel gave me nothing but problems, and I was sick of it. And then I turn it into this car, and this car gives me nothing but problems. And at this point, I'm just so overwhelmed and frustrated. I don't have the patience to deal with somebody that has a chip on their shoulder and an attitude. And Tony told me, said, "Well, whatever happens, Randy, we're going to take care of you. We're going to find something else. We'll get you in another car. We'll figure it out. But we're going to try to go ahead and get this deal closed." And sure enough, they did. And that, my friends, is the end of the story. For the next 34 months, this car is mine at $1,744 a month. And if you guys want to see more videos on the electric Charger Scat Pack, all you have to do is drop a comment below and tell me you want to see more. And if you have any ideas for what we should do with this car, well, number one, they need to be legal. And number two, they have to not violate my lease agreement. Hey, drop those comments below. I'm going to be reading through them to see what you guys would be interested in seeing us do with this car. I can tell you this, most likely a wrap is coming in the near future. And after that, I don't know, maybe it'd be fun to take it on a trip somewhere, and maybe we could drag race. We could go out to the drag strip and actually see what real numbers this car produces at the strip. Like I said, just drop your comments below and tell me what you want to see out of this car. As I said earlier, I'm on my way to Insurance Auto Auctions. There's a reason I'm on my way to IAA right now. Obviously, I can still go to Copart. I just got back from Los Angeles, and we did a massive walk around out there. We bought a vehicle from auction out there and drove it all the way back to Oklahoma. So obviously, I'm free to go to Copart anytime I want. But IAA, there's some people that seem to think I am banned from Insurance Auto Auctions. I don't know where they got that idea from, but I have seen some comments from people saying, hey, Randy, is it true that you got banned from IAA? And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? There is nobody on the internet right now, nobody, and there never has been, that has done as many Copart and Insurance Auto Auctions walkarounds as me. None. I'm the OG, guys. I'm it. So, no, I'm not banned from IAA, and no, I'm not banned from Copart. So I thought, just for fun, because we haven't done videos like this in a long time, it's been at least a couple months, maybe more, on the channel, I thought maybe we'd kind of go back to our roots a little bit. I bought some cheap cars that I think is going to be fun to provide you guys content with on the channel, and I thought, let's just go, and this week, I'll do some IAA walkarounds. If I have time next week, I'll try to jump in and do some Copart walkarounds for you guys as well. This way, since I'm coming out here and I'm making the videos in person right now, nobody can come back and say, oh my God, Randy, I heard you were banned. No, I'm not banned, and I'm heading to the IAA yard right now. And then if I have time next week, we'll try to do some Copart walkarounds. I just don't have the time for the videos. It's not because of any beef or drama between me and the auctions, none at all. It's just, you guys see how many cars I have? They all need work. Everything needs work. I have a yard full of cars. I have 2 properties that I have to maintain the yards. It's a lot of work, and I just haven't had time to go out here and do these walk around videos. So if you miss them, stay tuned. I got some new content coming for you guys, and then we're going to jump into some of the new cars I got and get back to work. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.